Okay, so the technique I'm going to show you next is something that I've only just come across and is really, really interesting in terms of its simplicity and the effects you can get. And all you're going to need to do this texture is you're going to need your watercolours and some Clingfilm. Other brands are available, of course. Now, what you're going to be doing is doing a background of just a wash of watercolour, and then you're going to lay on some Clingfilm, which when it's dry, leaves you these amazing effects. And what I want you to do with this effect is actually use it to then draw and work over. And the idea that we're going to use is linking to animals and to nature. And I picked up on the fact that a tiger at the zoo in New York had been tested positive for COVID-19 and decided to use that image and the background and the effect here. I thought gave a really good effect for fur, so I've drawn on my pencil drawing, quite sketchy, of the tiger on top, using this background which I'd already made as the base for that. So, to get the effect, what you will be doing is, and again I'm going to do one straight onto here, but I'm also going to be doing one which is a practice one at the same time. I'm going to be wetting my paper. Try not to clink my jar of water quite so much as I did on my first one. And I'm going to put down a variety, very much like the first pages, a variety of different colours. I'm going to do one with blues because I might do one drawing that links to sky or the ocean. And I'm going to use a variety of blues on there. If you make the colour, I found, quite strong and quite intense, you will get a better effect. I'm also going to do one that is, ideally you should change your water before you move on to your brighter colours. I'm going to do one which is the deeper reds and the pinks. If you had in mind already a particular object that you were going to draw, or say for example the face of something, you wanted to do the tiger, you could maybe think about focusing an area of the page so that maybe it had an area that you're going to put your drawing in. You can leave some areas white as well. You don't need to cover the whole page for this. So say I'm going to do the tiger, I might even have that sense of the tiger's face again, just there. Now what I do next is very simple. I take some of my Clingfilm, about the size, slightly bigger than my piece of paper, tear that off, and then I place that on there and slightly squidge it around. Now my paint has to be wet for this to work. Okay, if it's dried, and the blue may already have dried slightly, this won't work as well. So you guys will be able to work much quicker than me doing this. So the blue here, no, that's still a little bit wet. I'm just going to rub and crease the tissue, the Clingfilm, because that's how you get those creases and those different effects. And what you will do now is you're going to leave that, and that needs to dry. Okay, so that needs to be dried completely before you lift off the Clingfilm. If you lift off the Clingfilm now, the effect will blur out and you'll lose it. So you have to be patient and go off and go and do something else while you wait for that to dry. And then when it's dry, you can then obviously work on top of it, however you're deciding to do that. Okay, good luck with that technique.